Hello, thank you for joining me for day 6 of 15 Days of Faith. My name is Tim Riordan, pastor and author. I'm standing in the children's area at my church, Sunrise Baptist Church in Noonan, Georgia. Behind me is one of our children's classrooms, and we call this particular classroom Andrew's Bait and Tackle Store. The whole area is decorated as a little community, and we call it Our Town. I got to tell you that I'm not a fisherman. When I take a fishing pole out and go to the lake, I'm not really fishing. All I'm doing is casting, because I suppose you actually have to catch something if you're going to be fishing. Have you ever heard the phrase, are you going to fish or cut bait? Have you ever used that phrase? What does it really mean? Where does it come from? Basically, it says, are you going to get to work to accomplish something, or are you going to keep putting it off? Are you going to make a decision about this, or are you going to be hesitant and indecisive? From a spiritual standpoint, are you going to have faith, or are you going to cave in to the difficult circumstances surrounding you? In James chapter 1, verse 8 in the Bible, God calls this indecisiveness, hesitation, being double-minded. The Greek word actually means two-souled, wishy-washy, back and forth, lacking no confidence. This concept is the opposite of faith. Let's put this into context. You remember in yesterday's video, I talked about our faith being tested in verses 2 through 4. In verse 5 of James chapter 1, God says that we need to ask for wisdom when our faith is being tested. Let's listen to this in context, James 1, verses 5 through 8. But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, without any doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that man ought not to expect that he will receive anything from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable in all of his ways. When we go through times of testing, God wants us to ask Him for wisdom so we'll understand what's going on and exactly what God wants us to learn through this experience. He says, however, we should embrace this trial with faith so as not to be indecisive or double-minded. God doesn't want us trusting Him one moment and then caving into fear at the next. He wants our faith to be solidly in Him. If our faith is not solid, God says that we are unstable in all of our ways. That means not just this circumstance, but all of life. We're liable to fall or cave. See, this means that our trial could be our undoing. We might collapse or be overcome by our difficulties instead of fully benefiting from our experience. Now, we are facing a trial right now as a country. It could even get worse before it gets better. Let's trust the Lord during this time. Keep your mind fixed firmly on Him. Trust in the Lord. Don't let your circumstances cause you to waver, and you're going to find great strength for your journey.